Hey George, great to see you.
Hi, nice to see you too.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about this C-V2X specification. What is that exactly?
Okay, so this is a new system that we defined in 3GPP as part of Release 14.
Okay.
It is basically a transport layer and alternative to 802.11p, which is a technology that has been developed over the last 10 years for car-to-car communication.
Okay.
Okay, but 11p really was defined 10 years ago. It's a derivative of 11a.
Right.
And on top of that, a big system has been built that includes security layers and application logic that is standardized between cars.
Okay.
So C-V2X is now a new FiMAC that replaces potentially 11p, is an alternative to 11p, and reuses all the upper layers that have been defined over this long period of time.
Okay, and what does it let us do when when it's applied to the automotive market?
Right, so it basically allows us to develop a number of safety related use cases to begin with.
Okay.
In the future, maybe some non-safety use cases also. But at the beginning, the focus is on providing safety to the cars. It's another sensor that the cars can use to provide either input to the driver or to an autonomous system.
Okay, so if we're in an autonomous system, it would use this as a way to sense where other vehicles were, to avoid collisions and things like that. Could you also use it to speed up the flow of traffic in the rush hour and things like that?
Right, it's all of the above. So it will be combined with all the other sensors you already have. So you have radar, LiDAR, cameras, of course.
Yeah.
And now this sensor gives you a few different things. So all the other sensors gives you line of sight information, tells you everything that you can see with your eyes, they can also see.
Yeah.
And this sensor will give you information about the same entities. So that's a redundant information that's very useful because every sensor works differently in different environmental conditions.
Absolutely.
But more important for this sensor, it gives you non-line of sight information, which means that now I can see
if the car's around the corner.
Exactly, and what the car in front of the truck ahead of me is doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can track entities that I cannot see with my eyes and the other sensors cannot see.
That's a huge breakthrough, isn't it?
It is very important.
Yeah.
And also the other difference is that every other sensor, it needs to guess what is happening around it. It basically receives input by either bouncing signals on top of the things around it, or by passively receiving images, and you have to do post-processing to kind of figure out what is actually going on. With vehicular communications, we don't have to guess. All the other entities that support the technology will tell you what they're doing. They tell you 10 times a second where they are exactly, how fast they're going, which direction. And that's very useful deterministic information that you, by combining with other things, you get better safety overall.
Will this work over a 4G network, or do we have to wait for 5G to come along?
It's really being developed as a parallel track to both. It works, it's been defined today. It works with LTE networks.
Yes.
It will work with 5G networks, but really it is defined as independent of either of them. So it uses technology from both 4G and 5G tracks, but it's independent in the sense that also does not depend on any network. You don't need a network at all to make this work. Of course, that was a fundamental requirement because we need the safety feature to exist even out of coverage in the middle of nowhere when you don't have towers around.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can't just have a huge blind spot every time you're not on the network.
Exactly.
When do you think we'll see this turning up in actual production vehicles?
So we are in the process of developing this right now. So as I said, the specification is just finishing actually in a couple of weeks in 3GPP plenary. We are building this in a commercial chipset, which we are going to be able to do trials with by the end of the year. And we'll see now where the market matures. So we're doing everything to be ready for the market when it is ready. And we think in the next 2 to 3 years, we will see this happening.
Fantastic. Really, really interesting stuff. And you can see how this is actually going to be sort of a key differentiator for the auto manufacturers, isn't it? If you could be the first auto manufacturer to implement a specification which literally allows you to see around corners, that's going to be something which is going to really add value to their products, isn't it?
It is, but of course, on the other hand, it does require network effects.
Sure.
So the one car doing it doesn't help. We need the industry to move all together, and there will be the more cars that support it, the better the benefit from it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Really interesting stuff, George. Thank you so much for explaining it to me.
All right, you're welcome.